So there are some references in this also, not only of the conflict in Argentina, there's also the conflict in Afghanistan, Brezhnev, and also the conflict between Israel and Lebanon.
Yeah, this would be the Lebanese War.
The Lebanese War in 1982. And that sort of sets up what we think of Roger Waters being correct about all of his political anti-war stuff to this day.
Maybe we mentioned it earlier in the episode, but essentially, like, yeah, of all the classic rock guys, and you, like, you know, you have this notion that classic rock was political and it was anti-war and whatever, but it's like, yeah, name someone other than Roger Waters who especially still fucking does this shit today.
Yeah, to maintain the moral consistency.
Unless you're going the folk route, and also most of those guys are dead now, but like, unless you're going the folk route, like, yeah, you don't really have any other, like, prominent 60s, 70s rock stars that I can think of off the top of my head. And it's weird because, like, you have that stereotype of 60s, 70s music.
Yeah, it's that thing of, like, the Reagan Democrat being the hippie that grew into the Republican in the 80s because he got wealthy off of shit he did in the 70s. And somehow Roger Waters didn't become that.
Yeah, no, it's like...
And he's...
reasonably decent still.
And he's possibly the... I think I heard Felix Biederman say this once. He's the most hated person by British Jews. Like, more than Hitler.
Yeah. No, it's... Yeah, it's...
And he's also been the most anti-war person when it comes to Ukraine. Pro-Ukrainian people would say he's pro-Russian.
He's a Putin
stooge.
Yeah.
Because he went on and did an interview where he blamed NATO entirely for the special military operation. And then wasn't there a controversy about him dressing up for the wall?
Well, yeah, he still performs when he does his concerts. He still performs in the Flash, and during In the Flash, he comes out dressed as a Nazi leader, like he did during the original Wall concerts in the late 70s.
Yeah,
yeah, I have pictures of it on my phone from when I saw him.
And that got picked up, and then a bunch of British Zionists got mad at him. Or generally.
Yeah, I mean, they tried.
Well, clearly In the Flash is a sincere song. Yeah. No irony or sarcasm to it whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, it's... I don't know. I feel like there's too much of a critical mass of people who think the Wall is kind of cringe that you can't scare me with the Wall.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're gonna, like, scare me with this transcendental piece of rock art?
Well,
my mind can't take it.
Well, it's also one of those things where people that care about these things in the abstract have to do the kind of Ursula Le Guin, like they have to forget their reality a couple of years later. Because he was doing Animals and the Wall and also making it all anti-Trump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everybody praised him for making it anti-Trump. All the liberals praised him.
I saw that tour too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like 3 years later, he does the same set, and suddenly he's being confused for a Nazi.
Yeah.
And it is one of those things where people just are fucking goldfish.
Right.
Yeah. I just can't take it. Because it implies you haven't seen The Wall. And it's like, oh, okay, well, go watch The Wall, and then we'll have a conversation, like... Well, man, you're older than 18. You should have done this already.
Yeah, to any of our listeners out there that are mad right now.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like a
everyone.
passage to turning 13 or 14.
The Wall is not that great of a movie, but you should have watched it like at least once in fucking life.
Yeah.
That is my firm opinion about The Wall.
Rewatching The Wall, I always knew it was sexist in its portrayal of women, but it really came through.
Oh yeah.
all the vaginal imagery with like the flowers and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, also, like, all the women are bad.
Yeah.
You know, to be clear, it's also a very subjective movie from a very unreliable narrator who is clearly also a terrible person.
And the other thing that I would link to Fisher is clearly suffering from anhedonia. He has no... he's...
Hedonia.
No, he's incapable of experiencing pleasure, right? That's anhedonia. Anhedonia, like when he's...
You're right.
When he's sitting in the... In the hotel
with the
room.
nicotine-stained fingers watching old war movies.
The women just trying to have sex with him and being like, absolutely not. I will watch TV rather than...
Absolutely not. I will sing Careful with That Axe, Eugene, so you better run, bitch.
We were talking about the like funny phenomenon of, you know, Roger Waters being like the most hated person by British Jews, but also I think Roger Waters, of like all rock stars, there's a significant portion of the Pink Floyd fan base that hates him.
Yep.
And it's very fascinating because he's like, no matter how you cut it, he's responsible for the albums that they love.
Also, I feel like a lot of those people are pretty good with learning to fly shit.
Yeah.
I feel like those are some like special kind of boomers who are like actually pretty good with like late 80s.
Well, it's all of the Reagan Democrats that ended up just being conservatives or conservative liberals who, you know, are down with Gilmour writing a song in support of Ukraine.
Well, he didn't write that song, and he didn't write most of the lyrics to any of the songs that Pink Floyd put out. His wife did, like on A Momentary Lapse of Reason and Division Bell.
Yeah, so suck it, David Gilmour.
Yeah, the wife that like also calls Roger Waters an anti-Semite on Twitter.
Suck it, David Gilmour's wife.
Yeah, Holly Sampson.
Oh man.